ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تعالى من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهديه الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. إن شاء الله نبدأ اليوم أول دروس كتاب التوحيد. وكان في الأسبوع الماضي قد ابتدأنا مقدمة منطقية لماذا لا بد أن يكون الله إلها واحدا. Inshallah, we'll start tonight the first class of the book of the monotheism of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or let me use the expression of Tawheed, the book of Tawheedillah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Last week we gave the introduction, a quick introduction, to prove logically why Allah has to be one. And I hope we fulfilled that last week. We don't need to speak more about that, because I don't want the people to feel boring. So let's start with the book of Tawheed, book of Imam Muhammad ibn Abdul-Wahhab. And regardless of the name, we are studying a great book, regardless who the author, who is the one who collected the information or whatever, who is the one who is explaining the meaning of that great book. The book contains great points for you to purify your deen, to purify your ibadah. So whenever you go to Allah after long life, inshallah, you did your part. You fulfilled your duty toward the creator of you, creator of the earth and heaven. So that book was written by Imam Muhammad ibn Abdul-Wahhab. He's from 1115 after Hijrah till 1206 after Hijrah. That means he died some 90 years. May Allah rest in peace, and may Allah make us to get the best of benefits out of that. Purifying Allah is not easy. Purifying Allah in your ibadah and to make ibadah to Allah only, that is not an easy issue. Because ibadah is not only prayer, it's not only paying zakah. It is who you supposed to obey, who you supposed to deny his command, because obeying someone wrongly in his command, that is kind of ibadah. So be very careful, because maybe you lose your ibadah with few things you do while you're not paying too much attention, or you think it is not that important. I want to make that class boring, so I will go directly to the book. The first chapter of the book, called the Kitaab ut-Tawheed, chapter of Tawheed. And that chapter was started with a great ayah. That ayah, great ayah, in Surah Al-Dhariyat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yaqul, says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. This particular ayah, maybe we'll take the whole class, maybe needs more, but I will go to the benefits directly to shorten the issue for you and to simplify the understanding of that, without compromising any of the corners or the main pillars of the meaning of this ayah. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is as-Samad. Why He created insa and jinn? Does He need them? As-Samad means the one who doesn't need anyone. As-Samad is the one which everyone needs Him. So if you will read قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدُ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ, you have to understand what the meaning of Samad. As-Samad is the one who doesn't need anything. He is self-sufficient. He is the perfection itself. He is perfect in everything. He doesn't need any help. He doesn't need any support. So He is As-Samad, or As-Samad, the one you call upon Him whenever you get in need. And your entire life, you are in need. Can you deny this? During the entire life of you are in need. So you need As-Samad, the one which not only you need Him, but everything else need Him. The earth and heaven, the planets, the animals, the birds, the jinn, the ins, the angels, everything needs Him. And He needs no one. He needs nothing. That is As-Samad. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسِ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Okay? Did He create them to strengthen His power? He needs to be worshipped? Because if you don't worship Him, He will be weaker. You need to understand that. I have to speak in English as I was requested. So if you need Arabic sometimes, don't hesitate to ask me to say it in Arabic quickly. But I've been requested to speak in English. So please excuse me if I don't speak Arabic and English. Does Allah will be stronger if you worship Him? Is Allah going to be weaker if you stop praying? If the entire world denied Him? No. Do we have a proof? We're not talking logic now. We're talking with proofs. Logic, we finished last week. But with proofs, we have to speak. Don't speak to the non-Muslims the way I'm talking now. You speak to the Muslims who doesn't understand what is the meaning of Tawheed. You speak to them this way. But to non-Muslims, you have to speak to them logic first. And after you cornered them and you trapped them, he has to ask about the monotheism. Then you explain to him and you tell him we have proofs, which is not too far away from the previous proofs in the book of the Christian or the Jew. And I'm correcting myself. There is no thing called Christianity as original religion. There is nothing called Judaism as an original religion. Only one religion since Adam till Allah will inherit the earth and heaven called Islam. But its people over generations, over centuries, they changed the name. Because of Jesus Christ, they called themselves after the word Christ, they are Christians. Right? Because of the Jews, the children of Israel said, as Allah stated in the Quran, Inna hudna ilayk means we are guided to your path by your prophet, by your messenger. So we are guided to you. We found your path. That's the meaning of hudna ilayk. So they took from that the word hada or ittada to be called Yahud, which is too far away from the original name, which is Islam. Inna dina inda Allah Islam. No deen Allah sent it to the earth except Islam. Because if Allah will send the Judaism, if Allah will send the Christianity, if Allah will send the Buddhism, that means that Lord is making mistakes. And He is correcting Himself from time to time, and glory to Him. You cannot say that about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the most wise. He makes no mistake. And that's why He chose Deen of Islam, submission, to be the deen of the jinn, the ins, the angels, and even all the creatures, animals or whatever, they all accepted Islam, but they don't have to announce it because they cannot disobey Allah. Get any creature on earth besides ins and jinn, they have no will. They have to do what Allah created them for. They have a duty on earth and they do it perfectly. The lion eats the sheep or the deer with no mercy because Allah put him to do that job. That's why the lions and the tigers or whatever, they are not in number like deers in number or buffaloes in number. Buffaloes in number, the zebras in number, they are in 100,000. But the lions, the tigers in tens or hundreds. Balance. They do the balance. They cannot describe it, but they are part of the general balance of the entire life on earth. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. So Allah doesn't need us to worship Him. In the book of Muslim, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the book of Imam Muslim, He collected hadith Qudsi that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. The hadith is longer, we go to the point. He said, لو أن أولكم وآخركم وإنسكم وجنكم قاموا في صعيد واحد. لو أن أولكم وآخركم وإنسكم وجنكم كانوا على أتقى قلب رجل واحد منكم ما زاد ذلك في ملكي شيء. ولو أن إنسكم وجنكم وأولكم وآخركم كانوا على أفجر قلب رجل واحد منكم ما نقص ذلك من ملكي شيء. Allah says in that Qudsi hadith, if the first of you, the end of you, from jinn or ins, they get together, and they were all so righteous, all as if they have a heart like the heart of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he's the best of worshipper. Do you have a dispute about this? Nobody has dispute about this. Who is the best worshipper? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if your heart, my heart, everybody heart, Jinn heart, everybody heart were exactly a copy of the heart of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that would never increase the kingdom of Allah with even a poppy seed. And if the first of you and the end of you were having a heart like the most evil one you ever know, who is the most evil one you ever know? Yeah? No, Fir'aun is a baby beside Iblis. So if all of us had a very evil heart, like the heart of Iblis, that would never affect the kingdom of Almighty Allah. And Allah stated that. So why He said, I created the jinn and ins to worship me only, for nothing but to worship me. Because if you been created and you will be left alone on your own, you will be lost. Why kuffar? They kill themselves. while hardly to find a believer, killed himself. In Sweden, the country which has the highest level of income, highest average. They have the highest average of income, and they have the highest average of self-killing, or what do you call it? Suicide. The highest self-suicide in the entire world. Why? Because they don't know Allah. They don't have a constitution to live according to. We have our Quran, we have Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Part of our iman to believe in everything, as Allah, as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated in the hadith of Jibreel. I'm going to the point, and he said, and to believe in the predecision of Allah, whether good or bad. And تؤمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر والجنة والنار وبالقدر خيره وشره. So the believer, whether something bad happened to him or something good happened to him, he's so happy with Allah. Maybe he will cry for a while if something bad happened. Please, no silent talk. If you want to talk to me. All right? If we will talk out of the subject, I will say to you after the class. But if it is in a subject, I will stop and answer you. But don't talk on the side, because wallahi, that distracts me. So please, I apologize to you, but please don't distract me. Barakallah. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Zayd ibn Aslam and Ibn Abbas has two different opinions about the interpretation of that perfect ayah. Zayd ibn Aslam says, he means in this particular ayah, the best of his creation will be worshipping him, and the worst of them will deny him, subhanahu wa ta'ala. أي أن أهل الشقاوة لن يعبدون، وأهل السعادة هم الذين سيعبدون الله عز وجل. ولعلمه القديم ولعظيم واسع علمه علم إن كنت أنا من الأشقياء أم من السعداء في بطن أمي. وعلمه قبل أن أكون في بطن أمي، علمه قبل خلق الخلق ب50,000 سنة. Maybe he's tired, please. That's okay. Maybe you are exhausted, or maybe you had a hectic day. If he will remain with us, he will be rewarded. Because of just being with us. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, هم الجلساء لا يشقى بهم جليسهم. Those are the group who came together to mention Allah and to study their deen. Anyone, even if he slept or whatever, or he came to meet someone, he will be rewarded because he's with them. Back to the subject. In the belly of your mom, the angel, the authorized angel of the wombs, came and put you in his hand, saying, "Oh Allah." He became alaqa. He became a human being, no soul in. Allah will order him to blow into that body, into your body, the soul, and say, right, his life span, his lifetime, right, his deeds, right, his rizq, right, if he will be at the day of judgment happy, or if he will be miserable. Means one of the people of the paradise or one of the people of hell. May Allah protect you all from being in hell. So, if Allah knew that, they said, as Zayd ibn Aslam said, that that particular ayah means that only the people of the happiness on the day of judgment, those who will acknowledge Allah, those who will acknowledge worshipping Allah in Tawheed way. That means they ascribe no one beside Him. Yes, they search for reasons, but they don't worship reasons, they don't believe in reasons, they believe in the Lord of the reasons. And on the other hand, those who are misguided, those who will be going to hell, those who will deny Allah. Some people, if you speak to him about Allah, he looks at you in this graceful way, saying, are you in this? You believe there is something there? There is a Lord there? And if you ask him, okay, what do you call him? He said, this is a Mother Nature. Oh, he is kind of idiot. Because he believes in Mother Nature, that the Mother Nature multiplies people. Mother Nature protects trees to be regrown all the time, on perfect time. And he believes in unknown thing, and he thinks it's Mother Nature, and he even called it Mother. While it was easier for him to acknowledge his Lord. This is the opinion of Zayd ibn Aslam. Opinion of Ibn Abbas, which is more accurate. I started with the opinion of Zayd ibn Aslam for you to have an idea about that, which is not too far from the fact, but it is not the fact, it's part of the fact. But the idea or the opinion of Ibn Abbas is more stronger, and this is what all Ahl Sunnah, they believe in that. That Allah intentionally created the ins and jinn, or let me correct myself, jinn and ins, to worship Him. Because they cannot deny the effect of the Lord on their entire life. If something good happened, and they acknowledge Him or don't acknowledge Him, they cannot deny it or refuse it or choose some other way. So it's better for them to worship Him. So He ordered them to worship Him. Why? Because I know what's good for you. For example, do you have a car?
Yeah.
What kind of car?
Honda.
Do you have a car? What kind of car? Oh, see? I need someone different. What's your car? No car. You have a bike? Okay. Assume you have a what? I'm not good in cars. Sonata, whatever. This is Honda, this is Hyundai, right? Okay. Is the manual of Honda good for Hyundai? No. Because that was designed in a certain way. And that was designed in a certain way. But the one who designed the entire universe, the jinn and ins, he knows what's good for them, what's not good for them. That's why he said, worship me. And he got the oath and the covenant of all of them in the past. Once he wiped out the back of Adam after he created Adam, and all of them was in front of Adam like ants. Adam was huge, was a giant, 60 arms high in the air, and all his descendants surrounding his feet like ants. And Allah said to them, all of them, am I not your Lord? All of them said, yes, we bear witness that you are our Lord. But they forgot. So, if they said, yes, you are our Lord, into them it was built in worshipping Almighty Allah to benefit them. If he created them, do you think he created them and leaves them without no care? It's impossible. That Honda car was easy to be brought to people. Honda 2015, good. What is new? We don't know. How do I drive it? Actually, I don't know, try. Find some way to drive it with. Okay, if something happened, where should I go? Where is the dealer? Actually, I don't know. Do you think he will buy it? No, he will be hesitated 100 times. For Allah, remain the highest example. I'm just trying to simplify the issue for you. So, Ibn Abbas said, if good happened to them in their life, they cannot return it. If bad happened to them in their life, they cannot also return it. And they cannot change his nature. How do you, with what you chew your food? You don't chew food? You didn't get it. When you eat and you chew your food, with what? Using what? He's using his teeth and the tongue. Tongue to keep mixing, teeth to smash it, and the saliva to resolve it, or to break it apart, to make it easy for you to swallow it. Okay? Can you do something else? Can you do anything else? Can you chew your food, for example, with your eyelids? Can you stop the saliva? If you don't have enough saliva in your mouth, what you do? You drink water. You add something to ease, to make mixing the food easy in your mouth, because it will stuck in your throat. Can you swallow the food in a way different than what Allah wants? Can you? No. Can you sniff the food? No. Even the Human Rights Organization, that's a big fake banner, but for argument's sake, Human Rights Organization, all right? They talk about the rights of animals, of dogs, of whatever, but human rights for Muslims, no, they are not human beings, they are nothing. Okay? That's why they're not supporting Muslims. And don't expect them to support you, and you should support your deen, and you should strengthen one another, not to give them chance to use you. Think and remember my word. Back to the subject. The human rights. If they found in the jail, somebody said, I am not eating. All right, they put tubes in his nose or force some tubes to be in his throat to feed him against his will. They make charges against those guys who did that. Because it is not the way which make the person happy with food or to eat the food in an easy way. Allah creates you in a way you cannot change it. That's why I read in the second ayah, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. That idiot called Darwin, he thinks that human being was upgraded from a cell, and that cell thing, and had a hand, had a leg or whatever, and became an ape, and after becoming an ape, now they became a human being. That is an idiot. So don't listen to this. Allah said, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ. In heart, in behavior. Don't you see many guys in this country and other countries, even in some Muslim countries, that some males, they search for males like themselves, and they marry males like them? Girls, they are self-sufficient with other girls. Why? ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين. In behavior, in faith, in the heart became upside down. قد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم. What is أحسن تقويم? Creation of Adam with the hand of Allah. Allah created Adam with his own hand, not with the direct command be, and Adam was. No, Allah formed him with his hand, not like those hands. Allah has hands to suit His Majesty. He proved that in the Quran, that He has hands, but not like those. Don't ever think or to compare Allah with you, or even with the most powerful person on earth from a human being. No compare, no comparison. Cannot be compared, because Allah is unique. He used the term hand to make it easy for you that He can handle things. And He can give and He can take. So He uses the term hand. How it look like, we don't know. All right? And all other attributes which we will talk about later on, inshallah. لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين. The interpretation of this ayah, أسفل سافلين, is coming. إلا, continue, complete. إلا الذين آمنوا. That means it's not in creation. We don't have, within the history, we don't have that whoever didn't believe in Allah, he became a rat, for example. We don't have that. He became an ape. He became, group became apes. But that is a different story. We will talk about if we have a chance, but it's not our subject. But plenty, you see, plenty, millions, let me say billions, they don't believe in Allah, and they still human being in a very good health, and they're taller than you, they are wider than you, they have muscles. Why are you so weak and skinny? Right? It's not that. It is the heart. You are stronger than earth full of them because of your heart. إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون. Ibadah is not only to bow or to prostrate. Some people nowadays on earth, and some even Muslim countries, they worship the shoes of someone and they put the shoes on their head. They worship him like that. That's worship. They claim he is a messenger. As Qadiani people, they believe their head, which is crook, they believe he's a prophet. Why he's a crook, and all of them out of the deen. Because they believe there is a messenger after Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and whoever believes that, he is denying the Quran and he is denying the Sunnah. End of the story. He's not from Muslim. If he will correct his creed, he's from us, and we will love him. We hate what they are doing. Okay. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Why Allah here brought jinn first before ins? Some interpreters said because jinn in Arabic language means invisible. Means what? Invisible. So they think jinn was first because their ibadah is invisible. Do you see how the jinn pray? Do you see the jinn pray? Nobody sees jinn pray. Even, yes, jinn is in this place. Maybe they are here to listen to what you're listening to. But you cannot see them, you cannot feel them. Alright? And they said ins, which are physically could be seen. And we can see that brother, may Allah bless him, praying, and now he's in prostration position. We see him, okay? And that is inaccurate, because jinn to us is invisible, right? But to themselves, are they invisible? No. So they are easy to be seen, and they see us also. So their ibadah is not hidden, is not invisible, at least to themselves. So they see it. And that is incorrect. Why Allah mentioned jinn before ins? You will find in many positions in the Quran, ins and jinn and ins. Allah in Surah Al-Rahman, for example, saying, in Surah Al-Zariyat, He put jinn. Do you need something? He need jinn. He said jinn before ins in Surah Al-Zariyat. Also in Surah Al-Rahman, Ya ma'ashar al-jinni wal-ins, إن استطعتم أن تنفذوا من أقطار السماوات والأرض فانفذوا لا تنفذون إلا بسلطان. Oh jinn kind, oh mankind, if you wish to break through the earth and go to outer space, you cannot do that except with high power. High power to ins is what? Rockets. We cannot leave the earth unless we ride what? A huge rocket, Apollo program or whatever. But jinn, they have different attributes. They can fly. Maybe to break through, maybe they need more energy or something we're not familiar with, so we cannot speak about that. But if Allah said to them, if you want to break through, you need energy. You need extra energy. You need extra power, so that means they need. But how? We don't know. We're not aware of it. But we are aware of us. If you need to speed up with your car, what you do? You press on the accelerator, right? For your car to, you press more gas because you want to speed up. Something like that. So Allah brought jinn before ins because jinn are easy to break through than ins. So Allah put the jinn before ins in that particular ayah in Surah Al-Rahman. And another surah in Surah Al-Isra, Allah said, قُلْ لَئِنْ اجْتَمَعَتِ الْإِنْسِ وَالْجِنِّ على أن يأتوا بمثل هذا القرآن لا يأتون بمثله ولو كان بعضهم لبعض ظهيرا. Allah says, oh Muhammad, tell them, if you bring all ins, all human beings, all mankind, with their sophisticated tools, high performance of computers, and all those guys who speak day and night in media, blah, 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 or poets or whatever, bring them all, plus the support of jinn. You cannot do anything similar to that Quran. It's a challenge. Till now, they cannot do it. Till now. Yes, in Kuwait, they made a new Quran called Al-Furqan Al-Haq. This is Al-Furqan Al-Batil. If you read it, you will laugh till you fall on your back. Because it's funny. No meaning, no sense behind that. The wisdom, no eventual situations for this ayat. But every ayah in the Quran was descended eventually, according to the event happened to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companion, and to tell us about the former nations and the upcoming nations likewise. قل وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون. Allah stated something after that to prove that He doesn't need them. ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون. He said, I created ins and jinn and ins for nothing but to worship me. I don't need them to feed me. I don't need them to give me rizq. So that means he doesn't need us. But we need him to give us rizq. Because without Allah, you found nothing on earth. The moon is not too far from us. The moon is not even a desert. The desert, if you dig deep, you may find something like potatoes. And this was the original food for Arab people in Saudi Arabia or Arabian Gulf before the oil to show up. They used to dig, the whole family to go out of their tent to search, everyone to search for its food, to dig, to get a piece of potato, they call it fajr. And they bring that fajr at the end of the day or after a little while to eat. If you don't bring some, maybe you won't eat. But in the moon, nothing. You cannot find anything to benefit you. Because you're not familiar with those materials. You cannot, even the sand over there, you to be afraid to use it. But here, even sand is very beneficial for you. From sand you make glass and other things. And look at the word of Allah, khalaqa. He is the creator. And he said about you also, you are khaliq. But he said about himself, I'm the best of khaliqeen. He created and he created and you create sometimes. Human being created this folder, created this table, created the phone, eyeglasses, mic, building, bricks. They created. And Allah didn't say to them, don't use the word creator. No, he said, those are creating. But creating from what? From what he created. From the material which Allah has created. But the true creator, the best of creator, the one who creates from none. In a way, never happened before. From none, from nothing, he created something brand new and presented to people. I will stop here. That's only half a line of the book of Tawheed. Maybe we will proceed on that line. Maybe we will go to another ayah. Imam Muhammad ibn Abdul-Wahhab, may Allah rest in peace, he listed as a second line in the start of his book. I'm sorry if I made it long. May Allah bless you all. May Allah make you from among those who hear the advice and follow the best of it. And may Allah make you all from the happy people in the day of resurrection. May Allah let you enjoy looking at His face. May Allah make you enjoy being a company of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the day of judgment. Subhanakallah bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wa salamun ala al-mursalin, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum.